guys, so I've already completed the back portion of my head. I'll try to insert a picture and I'll turn around in just a second so you can see. So real quick, let me turn around so you can see the back of my head. Alright, so it's a mirror in the back that I had to use to see the back of my head, so y'all already know what time it is. You're somebody who does your hair a lot, you know. So this is the front corner of my head, and these in the back, I just kind of went row by row and did 3 locks down. Didn't have to be perfectly straight, but just 3 locks that were vertical. Flat twisted them down and then did the lock knot or cocoon curl, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to do something pretty similar here, where I take about half of the hair. Okay, and so I'm taking as much as I can 3 locks that are going vertically. So we'll just throw that over there. And what I did for each section of hair, which I didn't do it just now, but I would go ahead, if needed, kind of spritz the hair with a little water. The thing with locks is, you know, even if it's like dripping wet, it still is holding a lot of moisture, so you don't want to overdo it, especially if you're planning on like having to sit in the dryer or the air dry. Well, if you're still in the stage of being able to air dry overnight, you really want to make sure that you don't overdo it. So I shampooed my hair today and conditioned it and all that, so it's still kind of damp even from that. So you use your best judgment. You know, if you're starting with dry hair, definitely you need to add some water, but if you just shampooed your hair, don't overdo it. Even if it feels like it's drying a little bit, just lightly spray with water or just spray it when you're all done. All right, so if you're not retwisting like I'm not, go ahead and at least separate those locks to break up any stray hairs that, if left alone, will start to marry, you know, between now and your next retwist. So you're gonna take the top 2 and kind of twist those around one another. And I would do it one more time, and when you're on that bottom kind of layer, just tuck that other one in there as well. So now you've got 1 and 2. And so we're gonna keep on twisting. And like I said, because I'm not retwisting right now, I'm gonna go down to where my new growth pretty much ends. For me, that's pretty much where the black bleeds into the crimson or like violet color, okay? And so once you're done with that, and now you've got like a little flat twist here, you're gonna take your 2 fingers and put them not too far from the base, and then you're gonna flip this part upward. Now the key is, this is gonna be the part that now is gonna wrap around. So if you can, hang on to this part and wrap it around the hair. Okay, so now you've got this part here that you just wrapped around, and you've got your 2 fingers in a little loop. And so you're just gonna keep wrapping this hair around, kind of going down. Don't overlap the hair too much, otherwise that'll affect the size of the curl. And so now that we're at the bottom, you've got these 2 little fingers here. Let's see if I can show you. You've got those 2 fingers there. You're gonna take this hair around one more time and tuck it in between those 2 fingers. So now you've got that hair tucked in between those 2 fingers. You're gonna pull it through the little loop. Not gonna lie, it can be a little difficult depending on the size of your lock, but pull it through, not all the way. So I've got one part of it here in the tail on the opposite side. And then you're just gonna kind of shift the whole little bun down. And that's what you're left working with. So hopefully you can see that. Guys, so if you find the tail, you just actually can pull the tail and they come straight out. Some of mine, I lost the tail and was making it way more difficult than it needed to be to take these out, but where I can, I try to look for the little tail that was tucked in there somewhere and just pull that, and that makes it a little bit easier. The other thing is, I flat twisted my roots, but I really don't want to disturb my curls as much, so if I've got enough volume, I'm gonna leave it, but if I don't, then I may have to go ahead and take those out, so we'll see. Because I wanted a bit more definition and to keep the hair kind of controlled since I wasn't retwisting, but we shall see. So, like I said, look for your tail in that you tucked, and if you pull that, most of the cocoon curl should just come straight down, and then that's what you're left with. So just keep going through doing that, and then the big thing is, see, mine aren't all the way dry, so I don't know that I'm gonna get lasting curls, but I'm gonna do my best to maintain this despite it not being all the way dry. I might have to get me a hairnet or something to keep it secure, so when it dries, you know, I'll still have the shape of the curl or something like that. I'm not sure yet, so I'll keep y'all posted on what I end up doing, and yeah, you'll see the picture.